Hello guys, welcome back to LR Anime. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal Part 324 based on novel. So let's start. Not only was the High Elder of the Everlasting Sect scared almost out of his wits, almost all 100,000 surrounding cultivators were scared out of their wits. The power of Sundered Night had already shocked all of these cultivators, so there was no need to mention the effect of time reversing. Thanks to flowing time, in addition to the white-haired old man, all the surrounding cultivators were sucked in and felt varying degrees of time reversal. The endless memories and the shock made it so everyone looked at Wang Lin with awe. He became famous in one battle. At this instant, everyone knew about the Origin Sect and the Origin Sect's Lu Zihao. The resentment in Feng Hai's heart had collapsed. It was forcibly dispersed by the awe in his heart, and he no longer dared to have the types of thoughts that were going through his mind before. He had personally seen Sundered Night and Flowing Time, and they caused his scalp to tingle. He knew that if either of those were targeted at him, he would without a doubt die. There were elders of the Everlasting Sect with similar thoughts to him. They were now all silent and looked in awe at Wang Lin's upright figure above the collapsed platform. Profound and mysterious. Only these words could describe the shock Wang Lin had brought everyone. No one knew what other spells Wang Lin still hadn't used. It was because of this that their impression of Wang Lin became even stronger. In addition, rumors of him had spread before he appeared. Then, after he appeared, it was confirmed that he was the one that had charged through the rank 5, 6, and 7 regions and used the God Sect's War Spirit print. All of this made Wang Lin become even more profound and mysterious in everyone's eyes. Almost everyone believed that Wang Lin hadn't shown off all his spells and that he still had some ace hidden. Wang Lin represented the Origin Sect. After this, one thing circulated across the Cloud Sea. People would rather go through the Beast Fog world than provoke the Origin Sect. The Everlasting Sect's Sect Master let out a sigh. Although he had tried to overestimate Wang Lin's strength, in the end he was still too far off. Whether it was that finger, planet soul extraction, Sundered Night, or the time spell used at the end, they were enough to show Wang Lin's strength. This person must be a Heaven's Blight cultivator, but due to his injuries, his cultivation level fell. However, his spells allow him to fight against the High Elders. This person also has no malice, otherwise, he would have taken out a lot of treasures to make this battle drag on. My Everlasting Sect must keep a cultivator like this. However, with him, my Everlasting Sect will rise in the competition with the other rank 8 sect. Lu Yanfei looked at Wang Lin's figure and was shocked. Even she didn't expect Wang Lin to be so strong. Thinking about her teacher's words before he died, Lu Yanfei's eyes lit up. Lu Yunsong's face was filled with bitterness as he shook his head. He thought his cultivation had grown, and although he wasn't as strong, he thought that the difference between them wasn't that big. However, now he knew that he was wrong, and he was wrong 100 years ago as well. If he had attacked 100 years ago, he would have long been destroyed. Li Qianmei's mind also shook as she looked at the figure before her. She couldn't separate this figure from the one from 100 years ago. She didn't understand how his power had changed so much, but that wasn't important. What was important was that she was with him here. What was important was that she had left the demon sect to see one person, and she saw that person. That was all. Mu Bingmai bit her lower lip. Every time she saw Wang Lin, he would be completely different. However, she didn't think he would be so different in this accidental encounter. However, Mu Bingmai understood that none of this had anything to do with her. She knew that when they said their goodbyes at the brilliant Void Realm, they became strangers. Even if they met, they would just pass by each other. It seemed it was destined that they would be not familiar yet not unfamiliar. This sense of apathy between them would exist forever. No one realized that Wang Shanshan from the God Sect had a strange light in her eyes as she stared at Wang Lin. She gently took out a jade and recorded everything she had witnessed. Then she squeezed the jade and it disappeared within her hand. Using this strange method, Wang Shanshan passed everything she had seen to her teacher at the God Sect. She did this unintentionally. She only wanted to send this information to her teacher because she wanted to show her teacher a genius of the Cloud Sea. She even thought that her teacher would certainly take this person to the God sect after seeing this. However, she couldn't have expected the huge wave that would be set off when her teacher saw what was recorded in that small jade. Although a butterfly's wings look like they're flapping gently, no one knows where a storm could be raging. This old man admits defeat. I have never seen spells like fellow cultivator lose in my life. I believe fellow cultivator has a profound understanding of Tao. This old man admires you. The white-haired old man took a few steps back and then his expression returned to normal. He now looked at Wang Lin like a peer. Wang Lin's face was extremely pale, but he was calm as he clasped his hands and said, "Fellow cultivator is too kind." At this moment, a laugh came from the grandstand. It was the sect master of the everlasting sect, who smiled and got up. He closed in on Wang Lin and smiled. Why is fellow cultivator Lu being so modest? Everyone saw what happened today. Even this old man admires fellow cultivator Lu's spells. Wang Lin smiled and clasped his hands but didn't speak. The white-haired old man looked at the everlasting sect master and softly said, "With fellow cultivator Lu at the origin sect, it would be inappropriate for them to still be at the rank 5 region. As a high elder of the everlasting sect, he had devoted himself to cultivation and never asked about worldly affairs. For him to ask for a sect to be promoted showed his intent to befriend Wang Lin and make up for trying to test and teach Wang Lin a lesson." The everlasting sect's sect master smiled and nodded. Elder Liu is right. Fellow cultivator Lu came from the origin sect, so it would be inappropriate for them to remain in the rank 5 region. Fellow cultivator Lu, how about moving the origin sect to the rank 7 region? Wang Lin's expression remained neutral as he clasped his hands and smiled. "If you'll do that, I thank you too." The everlasting sect's sect master waved his sleeves and smiled warmly. "No problem, this is something this old man should do. About the matter we talked about before. I can enter the rank 8 competition, but I'm seriously injured and need something to help me recover. If you can give it to me, then I'll naturally go all out in the competition." Wang Lin silently smiled looking at the everlasting sect's sect master. After hearing Wang Lin's words, even the high elder was curious and asked, "Oh? What does fellow cultivator Lu want?" "Fellow cultivator can ask, there is no harm. As long as it's within my power, then forget the rank 8 competition. Even if there was no competition, I'd give it to fellow cultivator Lu to help you recover." The everlasting sect's sect master smiled. Wang Lin's eyes lit up as his lips moved and he sent out a divine sense message to the two. After the two of them heard, their expressions changed. They looked at each other and began to ponder. "Fellow cultivator Lu, this is not a place to talk. Now that the competition is over, how about we go to the back mountain and talk?" The sect master seemed to be worried about something and clasped his hands. Wang Lin clasped his hands and smiled. "Since sect master asks, I'll naturally listen." The everlasting sect's sect master smiled and looked back at the people on the grandstand. His expression became serious and he said, "Elder Feng, the competition is over, so take care of the rest. However, the competition between the rank 8 sects is near, so the cultivators here, please stay for a few more days." In the end, the sect master's voice became cold and contained killing intent. For the sake of the competition between the rank 8 sects and to prevent any information about Wang Lin being leaked, even if it would to offend some people, he was going to prevent any information from leaking. Feng Hai's eyes lit up and he nodded as he understood the sect master's intent. The everlasting sect's sect master looked at Li Qianmai, Wang Shanshan, and Mu Bingmai with a bit of hesitation. He didn't call them but smiled at Wang Lin and flew away. Wang Lin immediately followed, but before he left, he looked back and let out a sigh but remained quiet. The high elder flew away with Wang Lin and explained the everlasting sect to Wang Lin. They talked and laughed. It was a joyous mood, as if the unpleasant matter hadn't happened. The everlasting sect wasn't on this cultivation planet, but somewhere else. All three were powerful cultivators, so their speed was amazing. With the sect master leading the way, they flew off the planet toward another one, and the sect gradually appeared before them. As a rank 8 sect, the everlasting sect was the entire cultivation planet. There were many spectacular buildings standing all over the planet, and countless squares filled the land. When they got close, Wang Lin felt the power of restrictions from all over the planet. They also felt hundreds of spatial cracks on the planet. There must have been other worlds hidden in them. There are a total of 372 pocket spaces. 111 of them are boundless void and the rest are all storage or were closed-door cultivation spots for powerful cultivators in the past, the High Elder explained to Wang Lin. As they moved forward, they passed over many buildings, and the moment people encountered them, they all revealed looks of respect. They quickly clasped their hands, and only after the three left did they dare to move. The three of them were all extremely fast, so not long after, a mountain that pierced the clouds appeared before Wang Lin. This mountain was shrouded in fog and gave off a faint feeling of being a celestial mountain. There was also a feeling of domain that filled Wang Lin's mind the moment he saw the mountain. This domain was the comprehension of the sword. It was as if this mountain had turned into a sword that would slice the world open. The moment he saw this mountain, Wang Lin's body stopped and his eyes lit up. He vaguely felt like he had found something, and his mind trembled. The Everlasting Sect's sect master noticed Wang Lin's expression and smiled. This mountain is named Lu Su. It is rumored that a long time ago, a sword from the outside fell and stabbed into the ground to form this mountain. Good name. I wonder who named it. Wang Lin's shock wasn't revealed on his face, but waves were being set off in his heart. What he was shocked by wasn't the sword intent the mountain gave off. Instead, he found this very familiar to Tusai's memory of refining the trident and casually throwing it to condense a treasure soul. As he closed in on the mountain, he vaguely felt the ancient god stars hidden between his eyebrows rapidly rotating. This name was given by my Everlasting Sect's first-generation sect master. He spent his last years on the mountain and comprehended the dream Tao. In his dream, he saw a giant sword fall and turn into a mountain. He also heard a mighty voice echoing the two words Lu Su. The one who explained was the High Elder, and when he said this, his eyes were filled with respect. Lu Su. Lu Su, Lusu. The strange light from Wang Lin's eyes gradually calmed down, but the shock in his mind was 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times more intense. It was very easy for Lusu to be heard as Lu Su, but in the language of the ancient gods, it meant something else. Going with the straightforward definition, it should mean a sword that was refined from a star. Wang Lin suppressed the shock in his mind. The closer he got to the mountain, the more clearly he felt the ancient god aura. If he wasn't a royal ancient god, it would have been almost impossible to detect it. This was also the aura of a royal ancient god. This aura had already existed for an unimaginable amount of time. It was even older than Tusai. What shocked Wang Lin was that this aura had weakened over the years. If he wasn't as close as he was now, it would be impossible to notice it. This was the truth. Tuor Sen had also come to the Cloud Sea, but he didn't notice it. When Wang Lin's feet landed on the mountain, he had a feeling that the mountain was trembling. It was as if a soul was slowly awakening due to his arrival. This soul gave off a sense of desolation, as if it had been buried here for far too long. Wang Lin took a deep breath and suppressed the shock in his mind. He went to a tall pavilion at the top of the mountain with the sect master and High Elder. Inside the pavilion, the feeling of the awakened soul became even stronger. However, aside from Wang Lin, no one could detect it. They could only feel the origin energy and celestial spiritual energy in the area become a little denser. After being rushed by the aura given off by the soul, the ancient god stars between Wang Lin's eyebrows rotated even faster. The sixth star he had shattered in the seven-colored realm showed unexpected signs of completion. This discovery made Wang Lin lower his head to hide the shock he felt. Fortunately, the sect master and the elder didn't care too much. After all, Wang Lin had gained their recognition, so they retreated him like a peer. After they sat down, disciples of the Everlasting Sect brought tea and then respectfully left. The Everlasting Sect's sect master pondered a bit and said, "My Everlasting Sect does indeed have some of the extreme yin souls fellow cultivator Lu talked about. However, most of them are scattered and being grown by the branch sects. But they don't even belong to my Everlasting Sect, they were given to us by the God Sect. They only gave them to us to cultivate it on their behalf." Wang Lin picked up the tea and took a sip as he concealed the shock in his mind. He felt like the longer he stayed here, the better it was for him, but he also felt like if he stayed here for too long, someone would inevitably notice something. He clearly felt the aura that was slowly awakening become even more intense, like boiling water. He feared that it wouldn't take long for others to notice it as well. In particular, someone at the Heaven's Blight stage would have even keener perception of the world. If the aura in the mountain was asleep, they might not notice, but if it were violently churning, they would naturally be suspicious. What kind of sword is hidden under this mountain, and what stage ancient god was willing to expend one of their own stars to refine this sword? Wang Lin put down the teacup and was silent. The extreme yin soul's fellow cultivator Lu wants are indeed useful for healing, but, seeing Wang Lin silent, the sect master and high elder looked at each other. The elder hesitated for a bit and said, since fellow cultivator Lu needs it to heal, then this old man thinks it's okay to accommodate. It wasn't that the two of them didn't doubt Wang Lin's purpose for them, but both extreme yin and yang souls were good for recovering. They could also clearly see Wang Lin's injuries. As a result, even if they were suspicious, this suspicion wasn't too strong. They had also seen Wang Lin's spells and found him very mysterious. Maybe pills couldn't help someone like this recover fully. The sect master pondered a bit and then slowly said, forget it. After the god sect gave out the extreme yin souls, they never collected them, and quite a lot have gathered. It should be fine to gift fellow cultivator Lu some. The purpose of his words was to let Wang Lin know that Wang Lin's demand was not simple. He was basically giving the tribute to the god sect to Wang Lin. Although it wasn't as serious as what the sect master had said, it was the truth. Wang Lin revealed a grateful expression as he looked at the two and clasped his hands. In order to help me recover, you two are willing to take out the tribute for the god sect. I thank you for this and will certainly go all out in the competition between the rank 8 sect. As he spoke, the ancient god aura entered his body like his crazy through his feet toward this brow. This caused the collapsed 6th star to rapidly reform. The everlasting sect's sect master nodded with a smile at Wang Lin. His hand reached at the void and took out a jade. He engraved a message inside, then the jade began to burn and he threw it. It immediately flew far away. Fellow cultivator Lu, wait here for a moment. I've already ordered someone to bring some extreme yin souls. Wang Lin nodded and picked up the teacup to drink more. He had been waiting for the sect master to say that. Even if the sect master wanted him to leave, he would have tried to find a way to stay here a bit longer. In just this short period of time, the 6th star between his eyebrows began to show signs of forming a vortex. As the ancient god energy entered him like crazy, Wang Lin clearly felt an aura that terrified even him coming from the sword refined by the ancient god star. It allowed my star to show signs of recovery in just an instant. Could the star used to form the sword be from a 9-star royal star ancient god? Wang Lin put down the teacup and suppressed the shock in his mind. On the other cultivation planet, under the order of Feng Hai and other elders, the nearly 100,000 cultivators dispersed. Each sect returned to their place of residence. As for the origin sect, Feng Hai personally moved them from their remote residence to the place for the rank 7 sects. At the same time, a powerful formation activated around the planet. No one could leave without a token, but entering was no problem. Li Qianmai moved in with the people of the origin sect. She stood in the courtyard as the sky darkened. She looked at the sky and waited for Wang Lin's return. Mu Bingmai stood silently by herself 10,000 feet from where the origin sect was saying. The moonlight shined on the lonely figure, making her look bleak. She bit her lower lip as she waited like Li Qianmai for Wang Lin. She had something she wanted to say to Wang Lin, something she had to say. Similarly, far away from the rank 8 region, deep within the rank 9 region, covered in dense fog, there was a huge cultivation planet. There was a palace on it that gave off an awe-inspiring aura, and inside sat a boy. This boy had a rosy complexion, but his hair was white. His eyes opened and closed as they shined. There were 7 jades floating before him, and each of them had a name engraved on it. On the 3rd jade, the name engraved on it was Lu Zihao. The body raised his right hand and pointed at each jade before finally landing on the one with Lu Zihao. Since I detected Master's aura, I used the power of the God sect to search the Cloud Sea, looking for suspicious people. I found 7 people. After ruling them out one by one, only this Lu Zihao remains. There was a flash of killing intent in the white-haired boy's eyes. Just at this moment, he frowned as his hand reached out and a fire began to burn. A jade appeared in the flames. It had been sent by Wang Shanshan using a special method. The boy's left hand reached out and the fire strangely entered his hand. The scene of what Wang Lin did at the Everlasting Sect clearly appeared. The boy was originally sitting, but after seeing he suddenly stood up. When he stood up, 7 of the jades with names carved on them collapsed, except for the one with Lu Zihao. Source energy, similar to all heathens Master Lu Fu's, spread out from the boy and even caused the fog around the cultivation planet to shake fiercely. It's him. Even if we kill 1,000 wrongly, we can't allow one suspicious person go. Inside this gloomy palace, a storm set off with the boy's voice. This storm caused the star fog around the planet to churn and give off a thunderous rumbles. Master, I, Daoist Water, have battled thee against the world with you and have nearly died many times, so I have repaid you for saving me. The karma between us is over. After you died, although I took over the God sect naturally needed a leader, so I wasn't wrong in doing so. However, did you die or not? The boy's expression suddenly became ugly as he looked up at the void outside, and his expression became ugly. You should have died. Under mine, the Sovereign, and Daoist Miao Yin's combined attack, along with those mysterious cultivators from the ancient celestial realm, even if your cultivation was heaven-shaking, you should have died. However, why did I feel a sliver of your aura a few months ago? Could it be that you didn't die but reincarnated and cultivated again? The expression of the white-haired boy became even more ferocious, and his eyes revealed monstrous killing intent. If you reincarnated, then those ancient celestial realm cultivators that searched your soul should have known. But a few months ago I felt your aura, there is no mistake. Thinking about the aura from several months ago, the white-haired boy's mind trembled. It was because of this aura that he panicked and even used the entire God sect to investigate like crazy. Even after he received the jade from the brilliant Void Saintess, despite his greed for the brilliant Void Realm's inheritance, he sent out his disciple instead. He had cultivated for countless years, and this was the first time he had felt fear like this since his master had died. This fear made him recall the scenes before his master's death. This fear existed until his master died. However, a few months ago, when he felt his master's aura, that fear returned once more. After pondering for a bit, the white-haired boy clenched his teeth, and his killing intent was crazy. He coldly muttered, "If you have really reincarnated, I'll kill you again." Also, those ancient celestial realm cultivators were after the heaven-defying bead. You can hide inside the heaven-defying bead, and although I wouldn't dare to touch it, I can still force out your hidden soul. The white-haired boy's eyes shined and he slowly kneeled down. After pondered a bit, he closed his eyes. Lu Zihao, none of your spells revealed anything to this old man except one thing, the stop spell. In this world, only Master, Qing Lin, and I know it. Qing Lin didn't think it was that great of a spell because he hadn't followed Master for as long as me. He didn't know that this spell had heaven-shaking power, and it was a spell that Master had brought from the ancient celestial realm. Stop the body, stop the soul, stop the celestial spiritual energy, stop the origin energy, stop the heavens and earth, stop the flow of the river of stars, and stop space and time. After Master died, no one knew this spell more than me. You're at the Everlasting Sect right now, so I'll let you live for a bit longer. After I finish refining this 9 ancient reincarnation mirror, whether you've reincarnated or are hiding inside the heaven-defying bead, you won't escape. The white-haired boy opened his eyes, and there was a flash of coldness in them. He was extremely cautious about this trip. What made him cautious was not Wang Lin, but his master. He wouldn't recklessly head in and make all the preparations he needed. Inside the Everlasting Sect, on top of Lu Su Mountain, Wang Lin was sitting in the pavilion, and he put down his teacup. The ancient god aura entered through his feet like crazy and gathered between his eyebrows. The Everlasting Sect's sect master and high elders were talking with Wang Lin, trying to find where he had learned such spells. Normally, Wang Lin would just ignore them and act polite. However, the other party had agreed to give him the extreme yin souls, but more importantly, Wang Lin was absorbing the ancient god aura like crazy. The more he absorbed, the more intense the change to the surrounding origin energy would be. In order to distract them, he smiled and chatted with them. What they talked about were mostly high concepts, but there were some truths within. The heavens' Tao relies on the heart. As long as the heart contains Tao, it can naturally transform into everything. Once it's integrated with your domain, it will naturally turn into your own spell. Just as Wang Lin was speaking, 2 rays of light flew toward the pavilion and turned into 2 middle-aged men. The 2 respectfully stood outside, and one of them clasped his hands. Disciple has brought the extreme yin. Sect master, please check them. Wang Lin's expression was calm, and he didn't even look outside the pavilion as he kept talking. It wasn't until he finished talking that he looked outside the pavilion. The Everlasting Sect's sect master was focused on Wang Lin's words before revealing a bitter smile. What Wang Lin said was like nothing at all, but it also felt like he had said something. In short, it was very strange. At this moment, he saw Wang Lin's gaze outside the pavilion, and he coughed and said, "Hand it over to fellow cultivator Lu to check." The 2 people outside the pavilion respectfully nodded and walked inside, stopping before Wang Lin. They respectfully took out 6 small flags and handed them to Wang Lin. Wang Lin checked them with his divine sense and immediately found that each of the flags had a very pure extreme yin soul inside. While smiling, Wang Lin stood up and looked toward the sect master and higher elder. He clasped his hands and said, "Thank you both, I'm very grateful to you too." The sect master stood up and smiled. Fellow cultivator Lu is being polite. The rank 8 sect competition will be in 5 days. I hope fellow cultivator Lu will give it his all to help the Everlasting Sect win. The high elder stood up and clasped his hands, smiling. Wang Lin's expression was calm as he nodded. "Rest assured, I will do my best. I have left the Origin sect for 100 years, so I won't disturb you 2 anymore and will go catch up with the juniors." The sect master smiled even wider and said, "Brother Lu is also one to care about your juniors, so this old man won't make you stay. Sun Dei, lead fellow cultivator Lu back to where the Origin sect is." One of the disciples that had brought the extreme yin soul quickly responded. "I'll take my leave." Wang Lin clasped his hands at the sect master and high elder before turning into a ray of light, flying into the air. He let out a big sigh of relief. He had felt the ancient god aura under the mountain become even more intense, and it was about to stir up the surrounding origin energy. If he had been there for a few moments longer, the change would have been clearly detected by other people. That's why he had to leave quickly. In just the short period of time he had spent on this mountain, the collapsed 6th star had reformed and became a faint vortex. Although it was not fully restored, compared to before, it was like heaven and earth. It's a pity. However, as long as no one notices, there will be many opportunities to absorb more ancient god energy from this place. Even that sword formed by a star will land in my hand. Wang Lin's expression was neutral as he calmed himself and followed the Everlasting Sect disciple. After he left, the ancient god aura weakened again until it went back to sleep. From start to end, Wang Lin had been absorbing extremely carefully to not attract too much attention. At best, someone would feel like there was something different about the origin energy here, but they would not be able to see through any flaws. In the pavilion on Lusu Mountain, the sect master's smile disappeared and he said, "This person is not normal." As soon as he arrived, he caused some change to the origin energy here. The high elder beside him nodded and gently said, "That is indeed the case. Since he is from the Origin sect and also a member of my Everlasting sect, it is best not to pressure someone like that too much. For him to be willing to participate in the Rank 8 sect competition is great news for our Everlasting sect." The sect master pondered for a bit before waving his sleeves, and his divine sense message echoed across Lusu Mountain. "Gather all high elders, we need to talk about it." Wang Lin flew through the atmosphere, following Everlasting Sect disciple as he left this planet and returned to the planet where the formation had been activated. Along the way, the disciple was extremely respectful. Although he was leading the way, In truth, he was half a step behind Wang Lin and didn't dare to get ahead of Wang Lin at all. Upon entering the sealed cultivation planet, the disciple immediately took out a jade. After finding out where the origin sect was, he immediately led the way. It didn't take long for the two of them to arrive at the origin sect's courtyard. The disciple respectfully said to Wang Lin, "Senior, this is where the origin sect is staying. If you have no other orders, Junior will take his leave." Wang Lin nodded, then the disciple respectfully retreated and flew off into the distance. At this moment, Wang Lin was the only one in the sky. He naturally saw Mu Bingmai in the distance and also Li Qianmai in the courtyard. Li Qianmai stood in the courtyard. The moonlight on her body made it look as if she was wearing a layer of silver silk. Her beautiful face was exceptionally calm under the moonlight. Li Qianmai raised her delicate hand as she looked at Wang Lin floating in the air and revealed a heartwarming smile. "You came back." Wang Lin landed in the courtyard several dozen feet from Li Qianmai. After pondering a bit, he softly said, "I came back." The moonlight also landed on Wang Lin and stretched this shadow. There seemed to be some overlap on the edge of his shadow with Li Qianmai's shadow, but they soon separated. The surroundings were completely silent, with only the gentle wind swaying the flower and plants, causing a soft rustle. However, both Wang Lin and Li Qianmai became silent under the moonlight. This video will end here.